killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911 on my killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand, bang, got my hand. Call
And welcome into an Overreaction Monday here in the Sportsocracy. It is, oh, look at him. And he's so cute, fat baby Tank with his little suit on.
Yeah, it's Inauguration Day, fat baby Tank. James Rorick said I did that wrong and I didn't have that on the screen, so I figured I'd just go ahead and deal with it now.
He's all red, white, and blue, ready for a new era in America. As our new president said, the golden age of America starts today.
It's going to be huge. It's a huge day.
We shall endeavor to do better in the coming years. That's the best hope that I have for our country. Welcome into an Overreaction Monday. It is not about the inauguration. Obviously, it's about the NFL playoffs. Over the weekend, we had the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills advance to the AFC Championship game, and the Philadelphia Eagles will play the Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship game coming up on Sunday. So, blame of the weekend goes to whom?
Blame
of the weekend. Who's the biggest to blame?
Oh, Jared Goff. You can't turn the ball over that many times and it not be on you, bro. Jared Goff was awful.
So, yeah. Jared Goff showed up once again. And Detroit loses to the Washington Commanders. Jayden Daniels has to be the hero of the weekend, I would imagine.
Well, I mean, look, Jayden is real good at football. And I would tell you that was not predictable, but I predictable it. So there's that. Does Jayden Daniels go down as my greatest draft prognostication ever?
He'd certainly be up there.
For me, he's top 3 already.
I can't disagree with that. He was very, very good. Almost 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns in the game. De'Ami Brown showed up a little bit. He's made some plays in the last few weeks. Something about that. Something about that Commanders team. They're real damn good. If they can play some better defense.
Well, I mean, look, defense did what it needed to do on Saturday night.
But was that Commanders defense or was that Jared Goff being better?
I mean, you still got to make the plays. At the end of the day, you still got to make the plays, and they did. Look, Washington is doing something that's very freaking hard to do. This is a team that does not know how to win because they haven't done it, and they're winning.
Yep.
And that's there's a merit to that.
That there is. Jared Goff among the losers of the weekend, no doubt, as the Detroit Lions are the number 1 seed in the playoffs, lose to the Washington Commanders, and huge heartbreak for Detroit Lions fans. You thought you had it in the bag, right? You thought you could just coast into the Super Bowl, or at least past the Commanders. I don't think any Detroit Lions fan really gave it much consideration that they could lose that game to the Washington Commanders.
The betting market was confusing. And then I watched the game and went, oh.
Well, all in all, I mean, you have to take care of the ball in the playoffs. Plain and simple. You saw it in the Baltimore game yesterday. Same thing with Detroit. You can't have your quarterback turn it over 3 to 5 times in a game and expect to win. Not at this stage. When you get down to the semifinals of the divisional playoffs, every possession counts. Every bounce of the ball counts. And you can't afford to slip up, not even against, an 8 seed or whatever the hell they were. 12-5, good football team.
We have a really good question, I think, in the YouTube chat.
Okay.
It's from Philly Cheesesteak 36. He said, "I'm not saying he played well, but why is Josh Allen a hero and Jalen Hurts is a bum?" I'm not saying Josh Allen's a hero. Not this week. Josh Allen's not why they won that game.
No, but they won. And that, winning solves a lot of problems.
They won because they had an ability to grind the game out. Mm-hmm. They ran it down Baltimore's throat in large part, and they were able to mitigate Baltimore. Basically, all Buffalo did was let Baltimore beat themselves, which they did.
Yes.
And look, there's an art to that. Jalen Hurts, I could make the argument that he's not in the top 5 of reasons that they beat the LA Rams. Josh Allen's in the top 5, but I don't think he played hero ball by any stretch of the imagination. And I'll say this point blank: if Josh Allen plays next week the way he played Sunday, they will lose to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't have to be a beautiful statistical game for you to win as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's I guess that's where that comes from. Is Josh Allen being heralded as the hero of that game?
Not from anybody I've heard, but I'm sure it's coming.
Right. He is a hero of the league, right? Mm-hmm. He is the MVP of the league. He is the MVP of his team. He did score 2 of their touchdowns yesterday. So, just because the stats aren't great doesn't mean that that's not a great team.
You want me to tell you what? And I'm not talking about just this weekend. I'm talking about on the larger scale. You want me to tell you why? I think Josh Allen gets credit where Jalen Hurts doesn't. Josh Allen can win a Super Bowl playing the way that they're playing right now. The Buffalo Bills, I would say, are the favorite to win the Super Bowl right now. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, sure. I'd agree with that.
I don't think Philadelphia can win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts just being a guy that doesn't turn the ball over and serves as a table for Saquon Barkley. I have not seen a team win a Super Bowl that way in a long time, and that's the difference for me. And Josh Allen's just flat out a better player.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts has a lot of advantages. And look, I don't begrudge him for that. I think a lot of people do. That they want... Philadelphia doesn't win the way most teams in the NFL win, which is I have a better quarterback than you, and I can just mitigate risk because my quarterback's so much better than yours. Philadelphia is so much better than everybody else, 2-53, that they can mitigate having the worst quarterback left, and it's not close.
Yep.
I mean, I think you've got 3 top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL and one guy that's lucky if he's in the top half of the league. But damn it, Jalen Hurts has got a roster that's... All right, let me ask you this. How many games would the Washington Commanders win if Jalen Hurts was their quarterback?
Oh, 9, 10.
I don't even think it's that many. Honestly, I think with that running game and that set of receivers, that's not a team that's still here. And that's what people get hung up on. And I get it, because, look, I'm a quarterback guy. So for me, it's really hard for me to look at a team with a quarterback that I don't believe in and say that's the favorite.
Rob Johnson says they would win 4 games.
That's more where I'm at. That's more where I'm at.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is not that bad, is he?
He's not a quarterback that's going to lead you to wins. Right now, and I hear this from Eagles fans a lot, he is doing what he has to do, which is not turn the ball over and get the ball to the playmakers. Mm-hmm. He's not doing anything to win you games. He's not doing anything to lose you games. And there's a merit to that. I have seen NFL teams win Super Bowls that way. It's just really, really, really hard.
Yep.
And you come up against an elite quarterback, you get an elite quarterback against a game manager like that, which is what Jalen Hurts is. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's true. The good quarterback's going to win 9 times out of 10. But I don't begrudge Philadelphia in any way. You built a roster a different way. You built a roster the way that the Baltimore Ravens have tried to build a roster. You're just better at it than they are. Because they have a better quarterback than you. But you keep getting to a place that they can't get to. Mm-hmm. We have 2 of these.
I'm going to come.
The first one's from Sir Jimothy. I apologize. I did not see your super chat. My DC streams expired right as the stream started, so I was bouncing back and forth with Justin going, hey, I can't see the TV anymore. And he had to fix it for me. Culture of an organization is bigger than it is in the locker room. That's why the Lions have never played in the Super Bowl. I think there's there's certainly a merit to that. Of the Detroit Lions, I think have changed the culture around that building, but it's not done yet. You got 60 years of damn loser that you have to get past, and they haven't done it. That's 2 years in a row. You've been my favorite to win a Super Bowl, and you choked twice. Mm-hmm. You can't just get a pass for that.
No, you don't get a pass for that. This was supposed to be the step forward year. Mm-hmm. Right, last year you made it to the conference championship game. You had the lead, lost it in the second half, didn't end up going to the Super Bowl. This was supposed to be the next step forward. Now you come out, and yes, you went through all of the injuries that they went through. We talked about it all throughout the season, the attrition that they had on the defensive side of the ball. But when you're that thin, you have to have everything working. Mm-hmm. You have to have everything firing on all cylinders and not make mistakes when you can't stop their team. And I believe there was a lot of talk leading up to that game. I seem to remember there were some people talking about the fact that the Washington Commanders were going to score a shitload of points on that Detroit defense. That means every time you touch the ball, you got to turn it into points for yourself. Jared Goff turned it over 4 times. Didn't he have a fumble as well?
Yes.
I know he had the 3 picks.
Yes.
You can't win doing that.
Nope. Your defense. No, look, Detroit was killed.
And does
that team is killed?
But does that send a greater message about the franchise? Not necessarily.
I believe that it does.
You got a quarterback that maybe he just ain't built for this. Maybe he can't just win the big games.
I walked away going, I don't think Detroit's ready for primetime yet. And that's now 2 years in a row that Dan Campbell has had. He had the world by the tail, and he shit his pants both times. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, you tell me where the lie is, because I'm not seeing it.
What part of that was Dan Campbell's fault? What part of the loss?
I thought the game plan was flawed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I put a lot of that loss on Ben Johnson.
Okay.
You tell me where I'm wrong. You came into this game. David Montgomery should not have been on that field. Fucking period. And it was super obvious really early on. But you could not stop doing that Sonic and Knuckles bullshit. And so you keep trotting him out there at 3 and 4 yards a carry. Meanwhile, Jahmyr Gibbs is literally ripping off 8, 10, 12, 15, 22-yard runs. He had 14 touches. Or he had 20 total touches. He had 14 carries. Mm-hmm. He had 20 touches for 175 yards. Why is that not 30? Honestly, why is that not 30? Why is David Montgomery playing so many snaps? And I screamed that for 3 quarters until I got tired of doing it. Just going, you know what? You're a lost cause. You're absolutely a lost cause. Jameson Williams had 2 touches for 80 yards. Mm-hmm. Explain that one to me. I'll wait. I'll listen. And I hope you speak real slow because it's going to require a whole mess of explanation for me.
Well, I mean, they tried to get him the ball more than that.
Did they?
But they didn't connect.
Because when you say they tried to get him the ball more, to the tune of what? He had 4 fucking targets.
4 targets,
yeah. Yeah, he had 4 targets. You tell me who exactly it was that was defending him so well. Because one of his targets was on an absolutely laughably fucking stupid I don't even really know how to describe it. It was a misdirection that it just got launched over his head. Then you try to have him throw a pass, which, oh, by the way, worst pass I've ever seen in my life. Stop doing that. I'll never understand. 3rd and 1. Hey, let's have a receiver throw a pass. That's fucking our season's on the line. Let's let a receiver throw one. That's fucking brilliant. I thought it was a terribly called game for the Detroit Lions.
Yep. Well, again, you could have hung with them had your quarterback not turned the ball over. And Jared Goff, to me, he's a good choice. He's a good choice as the loser of the weekend.
No Smile said he's mid as hell. I can't disagree with you.
He is. He's absolutely mid. It's a great way to put that.
And I feel great that your defensive coordinator is getting ready to be my new head coach. That's a great way for him to leave Detroit and come to the suckitude that is the New York Jets.
All right, so Aaron Glenn, that's moving forward.
His second interviews today. I'm not sure he gets to that second interview with the Saints. I'm pretty confident you're going to hear something about him today.
Okay.
We'll leave that at a little bird, he told me. He's in person with the Jets today. Don't be surprised if he doesn't leave that building.
Okay. Meanwhile, we're keeping the eye on Ben Johnson to see where he goes. I was looking for the comment earlier in the YouTube feed here. Somebody said, "You know what? We'll just blow the whole fucking thing up. Ben's gone. Aaron's gone.
Sorry. Aaron Glenn's in person is tomorrow. My bad.
Somebody, they said Jared Garf and Dan Campbell just need to leave town as well. We're done. So, damn, that's a lot. That's really pulling the plug. I don't believe this is something you need to give up faith in just yet.
I mean, look, I still have faith in Dan Campbell. I just you got work to do. You're not as far along as we thought. All right, we got several more super chats. Nope, that's not the right button. That's the right button.
I'm gonna come.
The first one is from Matthew Hoffman, who said, according to DraftKings, it's Philadelphia, Kansas City, Buffalo, Washington in that order. I would have Buffalo higher. I'd have Buffalo certainly higher than Kansas City. I'd get down with Philadelphia being the one. I mean, which one of those teams would you take Philadelphia to beat in the Super Bowl? Because for me, it's neither one.
I'll take Kansas City. I'll take them to beat Kansas City.
I will not.
My order would be Buffalo, Philadelphia, Kansas City, Washington.
That would probably. Mine would be Buffalo. I'd flip Buffalo and Philadelphia, but nitpicking there. Oh, let's see. Then we have another one from Colin.
I'm gonna come.
Let's play a fun game. That Eagles team would be undefeated with a top 7 quarterback. Let's get in depth with it. All right. Let me put it this way. If the Philadelphia Eagles had Jayden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, I'm trying to think how deep into this I want to go. How many quarterbacks would I can't put Lamar there? We'll talk about Lamar in a minute, but I can't put him there.
Okay.
Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy. Nope, not doing that one. I thought about it for way longer than I should have. Joe Burrow. Any of those guys. The Philadelphia Eagles are 17-0. We hate them unabashedly, and they are kicking the shit out of every team they play.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia has to make up for the fact they have a quarterback that, first of all, hey, shocker, he's hurt again. Because weird, trying to run like a fullback in the NFL at quarterback is kind of stupid. I've only been saying that for 3 years.
Yep.
At some point, Nick Sirianni's going to go, hey, that fat mulleted jackass is right. Because I ain't the only one saying it.
Right.
You run your quarterback like that, who has absolutely no discretion for his body. Don't be shocked when you get to the end of the year. And he was a table by the end of that game. Yep. The one pass he completed, it looked like it took every ounce of strength he had. And guess what? He ain't going to be right next week either.
Had a left leg injury late in the second half of that ball game, and he is, there will be a watchful eye on what Jalen Hurts is going to be able to bring to the table against the Washington Commanders. Because it's definitely not going to be easy. And that's a team that took you as far as you want to go the last time. I'm super surprised by the Commanders. I did not think that they would bring it like they did.
Well, I mean, if you remember when we broke that game down, I said there's going to be points here, and I thought that game would be close for a long time. I just didn't think they had. I didn't think they had it in them to close it out that way.
Yeah,
and they did.
Well, you thought at some point, the tide was going to turn. You were going to see Detroit do the same thing that they had done all year long, was
and just be unstoppable,
just muscle, right? It just muscle in the end, and that didn't happen.
Nope.
And here we are.
We have
now
one.
Dan Campbell's. Go ahead.
We have one more super chat.
I'm gonna come.
It's from Soaring Eagle, who said, "How is Joe Shane still employed after the video that surfaced?" Basically, what he's talking about is a video that came out from Hard Knocks that it's not good. I don't necessarily want to talk specifically.
Is this of the kid?
Yeah, about
Is this
Jayden
the
Daniels.
scene where he's sitting behind the desk and his kid's over there like tossing a football up in the air, laying on the couch, and the kid says, "You need to go get Jayden Daniels right now."
Yeah, the kid's better at this than Joe Shane is. And that, I mean, we've seen so many bad things from Joe Shane. I'll be honest with you, I'm shocked he survived any of it.
Yeah.
I will say this though, after the disaster that has been Hard Knocks with the New York Giants, NFL Films is going to have to show up with AK-47s to get a team to do that next year. I mean, literally, they're going to have to show up with guns. Like, we're coming in whether you like it or not.
It hasn't gone well for Joe Shane. But here's the thing, all right? Don't be an idiot, and don't be an idiot on television.
Well, here's the thing.
Better yet,
you put a camera in any GM's office and just let it run nonstop in the offseason, they're all going to say dumb shit.
right?
And look, I talked to a lot of these guys. It would blow your mind how many of these guys didn't buy into Jayden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them thought he was a landmine. Yeah, you know what? You know who they said that to? People like me, off the record. They didn't say it in front of a camera to have it blasted out on national television.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie, I would be looking at Hard Knocks going, yeah, I'm good, bro. You keep that damn camera out of here. I'll change quarterbacks if I have to keep your ass out of here.
Yep.
Whatever I got to do to make you not want to be here, I'm down. And one more super chat from Colin.
Okay.
I'm going to come.
Don't be amazed if it's Kansas City or the Bills versus Washington in the Super Bowl. I have JD5 beating the Bills because the defense won't be able to stop him. I'm not going to be shocked if Washington beats Philadelphia. I'm also not going to be shocked if Philadelphia beats Washington. You're playing with house money, and it's so obvious. Stacy Tuberville said Washington caught 2 bad defenses. This week is a different animal. I don't disagree with you on 2 bad defenses. I would also say I think you might be overvaluing how bad the defenses are. Jayden Daniels, the way he's playing right now, is going to make a lot of defenses look fucking foolish.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing with house money. They are the most dangerous kind of team. They have nothing to lose.
Absolutely. Too dumb to know the difference. Right?
The pressure gauge is 110% Philadelphia in that game.
Absolutely.
I also have that fear in the other game, just to be clear. The pressure gauge is 110% Buffalo Bills, too.
Absolutely.
Kansas City, hey, we lost. Whoopty fuck. Let me go polish the. Let me go to the ring case and polish off all these damn rings I got.
Which is where we find out, what champions are made of, right? Who has what it takes to be a champion in this league? How many times have we seen, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills on this stage, only to be turned away for one reason or the other? How many times have we seen, now twice, the Detroit Lions get on this stage and be turned away? We've never seen Jayden Daniels handle a moment like this. And it's hard for me to believe that, a rookie is going to be able to do it. But if anybody can, why wouldn't it be the rookie who doesn't know any better, right? He's just a winner. He goes out there and makes plays, and can't nobody stop him right now. If anybody can, I think it's Philadelphia.
Philadelphia
at least mitigate him enough.
Philadelphia is really, really talented
to win the game. Yeah,
Philadelphia is really, really talented. I will be very interested to see how they deal with Saquon Barkley. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I think if the MVP vote didn't have to be in before the playoffs started, if the vote was right now, I think Saquon Barkley would win it.
Probably. After another 200-yard game yesterday and carrying his team to victory. And chances are he'll probably do the same thing next week. That's how they've run this team since week 4 of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Was when the offense really focused in on, okay, Jayden's got to stop throwing the ball 32 times a game, and let's start pounding Saquon Barkley.
I also have no
and there's
doubt.
no other running back like him.
I also have no doubt that Nick Sirianni is going to find a way to fuck this up with Saquon, because he tried to do it in this last game.
Mm-hmm.
They went away from Saquon again for an extended period of time. And I know he hurt his hand. I got it. Not saying it was completely of his own volition, but he tried to do it again.
Rob Johnson says the Rams win if it doesn't snow. Yeah, you're probably right. Which is why home field advantage is so important.
Home field is big. I hate snow games. I hate snow games in the playoffs. I really do.
It's the ultimate advantage.
I don't want to see seasons decided that way.
Let's see here. There's a question in here about Goff. How long does he have on his contract?
He just signed a new deal.
That's what I was thinking. He's still got 4 years left or something.
I can't remember when the out in that deal is. I'm looking now. According to Spotrac, the potential out's in 2028. Yeah, they're locked in for 3 more years.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting out. That's gross. I mean, look, and Jared Goff was really good over the course of the year. That was just a god-awful, terrible game in the playoffs. That's a bad time to have you chose a bad day to have a bad day. We have another super chat from Colin that will transition us into talking about the other game from yesterday.
I'm going to come.
Where do you rank Lamar Jackson right now? Because I'm having a hard time putting him in the top 10 right now. Tank, I'm going to let you answer that, and then I'm going to answer it.
A hard time putting him in the top 10.
I didn't say I agreed with it. I just said you answer it first.
I'm trying to make that kick around in my head because that's insanity to me. Look, you can be a great quarterback in this league and not win in the playoffs. We've seen that happen in this league before. Lamar Jackson, I got no excuses, and apparently nobody has any answers as to what happens when Lamar Jackson gets into the playoffs, and for some damn reason he can't stop turning the ball over. I mean, he's not completely to blame for that loss yesterday, but he's a big part of it.
I'll say he takes 70% of the blame.
That's a lot.
You can't turn the ball over that many fucking times.
No.
I mean, and here's the thing. No. He outplayed Josh Allen, and it wasn't even close. And you still lost. Yeah. That's the most damning part of it to me about Lamar, is that even when you play well, you still find a way to lose. Mm-hmm. That's as damning as it gets. Okay, you come out and have a bad game. Okay, everybody does that. You lose when you outplay the other guy. That's brutal. And you just look at Lamar's history in the playoffs, it's so bad.
Yesterday was a good game.
Yeah,
statistically speaking.
For sure.
Played really well in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Problem was you couldn't score in the second half to make up for the ills of the first half. You gave the ball away Cam Newton style, and that cost your team the game. It ended up being the difference in the game.
Do you know what? Would you like to take a stab at Lamar Jackson's average game in the playoffs?
What, QBR wise?
No, just all of it. I don't have his QBR. I have his quarterback rating, but I don't have his QBR.
Oh God,
His average stat line.
I'd say he completes 52% of his passes.
60.6.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
18 of 30.
Was he at a even touchdown to interception ratio?
1.3 to 0.9.
It's so close.
Mm-hmm.
He's so close.
And he averages 3.5 sacks per game in the playoffs. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Now,
yeah,
it in terms of with Lamar, where would I put him among talented quarterbacks in the NFL? He's in the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
I would put him behind Allen. I'd put him behind Mahomes. I'd put him behind Burrow. I might put him behind Jayden Daniels, but I'm not quite there yet.
Right.
Now, as for quarterbacks that I want to be my franchise quarterback, now we're getting closer to because there are a bunch of guys I could put there.
Now you're getting closer to putting him outside the top 10.
I'm still not outside the top 10, but, I mean, there are a lot of guys I would take over Lamar. It just doesn't work. I mean, what you do doesn't work when it gets cold as shit. I mean, it's non-debatable. How many times do you have to do it before we just go, yep, that doesn't work? By the way, do you know the 3 teams that he's beaten in the playoffs?
Oh, the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans were the first one. Lost to him. He lost to him in 2020. Lost to him in 2020. Beat him in 2021.
Yeah,
that was a team that was Derrick Henry and nothing else.
Yes. Who else did they beat in the playoffs? Was it I don't know.
They beat the Houston Texans last year, the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Hey, guess what? None of those 3 wins are impressive. You beat Ryan Tannehill, C.J. Stroud, and Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Congratulations. You know who you've lost to? Ryan Tannehill. I don't remember who that was. Phillip Rivers, I think. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen. Weird. Every time you play a quarterback better than you, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Notorious B.I.G. said Lamar is Michael Vick with a better PR team. Sorry, I have to be that guy. I'm not going to lie to you. When I hear a lie, I'll tell you. And I feel like you deserve one of these. If you didn't watch our live stream yesterday, that was the bad Lamar Jackson siren.
Yes, it was.
And he deserved it. We have another. Go ahead.
I was just going to say Lamar Jackson. He definitely has a pretty large share of the blame in the loss yesterday. Again, it's not all on him because Mark Andrews has to take a lot of the blame. The fumble in the fourth quarter completely derailed that chance to score. Then you drop the 2-point conversion in the end zone is the worst day of his life. Has to be the worst day of his football.
Wasn't good, and to Lamar's credit, did you hear what he said when they asked him about Mark Andrews?
What'd he say?
He said, I got to play better.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is the right answer.
That
was 100% the right answer.
Absolutely. A leader takes responsibility for for his role in it, and he has to play better. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Mark's got to play better too, though.
I agree.
You don't have to call him out. I don't need, I don't need Lamar Jackson. We don't need Lamar Jackson to come out and tell us that Mark Andrews fucked that up. We all know, and Mark knows. It's a sad situation, but he deserves some of the blame. John Harbaugh deserves some of the blame as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd agree with that.
All right, super chat time.
Oh, let's see.
I'm going to come.
It's from our buddy Soren Eagle. If it weren't for this quarterback class being literally the worst positional class in NFL history, I would argue you need to move off of him because a desperate team will give you a stupid haul for him. Talking about Lamar. Yeah, you can't move off of him.
Nope.
Not in this class. Speaking of which, I did the quarterback breakdown. Tank, would you like to guess at my positional grade for this class of quarterbacks?
F plus.
It was an F period. F period. Do you know how many quarterbacks in last year's class I had rated higher than any quarterback in this one?
4.
There were 3.
That was close.
Cam Ward would have been the 4. I'd have had him over Penix, McCarthy, and Nix. And I would have had all 3 of those ahead of Shedeur Sanders, who is my 2. Great chance Jackson Dart passes him, though, with a good week next week in Mobile. Okay. I love Jackson Dart. You know that.
Yes. He is a big fan.
And which, just since, we're all friends here and this is just on YouTube, I want all of you, we're all friends here, watch how many times I get called a racist when I put Jackson Dart ahead of Shedeur Sanders, because it will be 7,000.
A bunch. More than likely.
I had Drake May ahead of Michael Penix last year, and I bet you I heard that 5,000 times.
Yeah. You're the owner of a team. Are you even considering getting rid of Lamar Jackson? I feel like you're thinking about that way too long.
It depends on what you're asking me. Do I think Lamar Jackson ever wins a Super Bowl? No, I don't. Because at some point you're going to have to beat Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. You have to do it in the same year. Yeah. Here's the thing. You've never beaten either one of them. You'd have to beat them both in the same fucking season. And they're 2 years older than you, 3 years older than you. Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't see it coming. And hell, in most years, you got to beat 3 guys.
He was your franchise quarterback. Because that's what Soaring Eagle's asking. Don't you think they should move off of him since he can't win?
You're not going to like my answer. I would have moved off of him before you gave him $1 gajillion. I said that 50 times. There's no way I would be giving him this money.
Yeah.
And then they did. And that's fine. He's played like an MVP. Regular season, he's James Harden. Congratulations. Yes. And for me, that's just not good enough. I want a guy that can win a Super Bowl. If I don't have a guy that can win a Super Bowl, I don't have a quarterback.
Yep.
That's my philosophy. It always has been.
Yep.
We have another super chat.
I'm going to come.
By the way, I love that button. I'm not playing that because it's Inauguration Day. I'm playing it because I think it's funny as hell. That is not a political statement either. I said that in the earlier stream, and I will say it again here. Josh Allen, look at his record versus great quarterbacks in the playoffs. Looks pretty damn simple to me. Well, now let's look at Josh Allen's playoff record. Because to me, there's just a huge difference here. All right, Josh Allen's 7-5 in the playoffs. Do you know who he's lost to?
Patrick Mahomes.
He lost to the Houston Texans in 2020. That was his second year in the league.
Yeah.
He just wasn't that guy yet. He has then lost to Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
And by the way, his average game in the playoffs, I asked you with Lamar Jackson. Let's hear what you got for Josh Allen.
Oh, dear. Josh Allen in the playoffs?
Completion percentage.
He's pretty damn good. I'm gonna say 68.
65.7.
Okay.
23 and a third, 35 23 and a third completions to 35 and a half attempts. Yards?
Okay. Ooh, 2,500, 2,700?
It's 31-22 total, but it's 260 per game.
Okay.
1.9 touchdowns to 0.3 interceptions. And he's sacked an average of 2 times. Oh, BT Dubs, 7 of his 26 sacks were in one game against the Dolphins that they won.
Mm-hmm.
He has been sacked 2 or fewer times in every playoff game he has ever played, save 3.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen plays better in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson plays worse. There's a difference. There is a difference in that to me.
Yes. And there's also a big damn problem that he has to stare down Patrick Mahomes every fucking time.
And now he gives you hope. because he is good enough to win one of these games. I'm not sure he's good enough to win 3 of them.
Yep.
I need to see you win 1 before I can believe you're going to win 3 of them in the same year.
Right.
And that's my problem with him. It's been my problem with him. It will continue to be my problem with him. Baltimore tells me they want to be, that they think they're better than that. Your quarterback lends me to believe that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is.
And how many more advantages does he need? Will one more wide receiver tip that scale? I mean,
for
that
Lamar?
seems to be the right. That seems to be the place that we. Oh well, he doesn't have any weapons.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: Rashad Bateman looked like a weapon for 2 playoff games.
He made it exactly.
Isaiah Likely's a damn weapon. Derrick Henry's as good a weapon as we have in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy Turbeville in the YouTube chat said, non-choking quarterbacks, Pat Mahomes, nobody else. I would argue Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Neither one of them have choked. They haven't had teams good enough around them. Because those 2 in the playoffs, you can't hardly play any better than they have.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar, on the other hand, yeah, he was great yesterday, and his team let him down. But he was still the one that turned it over.
I was going to say he let his team down first.
Mm-hmm.
That was the problem. Was that he was the savior at the end, but you dug yourself into the hole to begin with.
Yeah, it's the old. Tank. It's my favorite phrase. Build 1,000 bridges, bridge builder. Blow one, cocksucker. Doesn't matter about all the bridges you built. Doesn't matter. There are just some things that you cannot get past, and you turn the ball over at an alarmingly high rate in the playoffs.
Yes. Stuart West says only bad thing that happened to Allen was that the Bills give the ball back to Mahomes in time for a final drive. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Usually let down by the rest of his team.
Yeah.
Rob Johnson.
By the way, Joe Burrow's 5-2 in the playoffs, and in the 2 games he lost. The Super Bowl against the Rams, he was 22 of 33 with a touchdown, 263 yards. Against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game 2 years ago, 26 of 41, 271 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times. His 2 losses, he's been sacked a combined 12 times because the line sucks.
Yes.
But see, that's the problem. Is that elite quarterbacks, when you pay them elite quarterback money, you've got to have a team that scouts really, really well. Secret time, the Buffalo Bills don't, and the Cincinnati Bengals don't. The Baltimore Ravens do, and everything they give him, it's never enough.
Mm-hmm.
You have the best linebacker in the league. If not the best, then the second best. You got the best safety in the league. You have a slew of pieces on that defense. I would say a borderline elite offensive line that is getting a little bit older. Oh, and by the way, you have the best running back in the league.
Yep.
What of those things can I say about Josh Allen or Joe Burrow? Joe's got the best receiver tandem in the league. And then, what else he got?
Nothing.
1 elite pass rusher. End of message.
Mm-hmm. Gambit fan says he has Alex Kappa on his line. Need I say more?
Fact. And I believe the Buccaneer fans could
terrible.
probably echo that.
Well, I mean, Alex Kappa was good when he was in Tampa. He's not good anymore.
Nope.
Wasn't he the worst guard in the league this year?
Give me a minute, I'll tell you.
I believe I heard them say that during the game the other day.
It's entirely possible. It sounds right.
If he wasn't the worst, he was
71 of
certainly
75.
among the worst. Yeah.
Orlando Brown was 66 of 81 tackles. Amarius Mims was 67 of 81 tackles. Ted Karras was the best player on the offensive line, 21st of 40 centers. And his first name's eluding me. Cordell Volson was the second. He was the second best offensive lineman they had.
Yeah, the stat that they threw up on the broadcast was that he won the Triple Crown this year Alex Kappa did. Most sacks, most pressures, and most hurries allowed.
Tremendous.
Oh, he's doing stuff. He's doing stuff.
And he's been in the league forever.
Yes.
Can you tell me where he went to school? He's the only player in the NFL.
Alex Kappa went to
Humboldt State. He's the only player in the NFL.
Yeah.
We were talking about draft stuff in one of our chats yesterday. And Jonathan Welch has been helping me with some NFLdraft.net stuff. And he said, I got to do 120 Senior Bowl profiles. I said, I just broke down tape on a long snapper from the Colorado School of Mines. Trust me, I understand your pain.
Of mimes?
Mines.
Like he's learning how to.
No, not the weird clown thing. Mines.
Okay.
Yeah.
The College of Mines. I've never heard of the College of Mines. That must be a D3 school.
It's the Colorado School of Mines.
Oh, the school. It's not even a college. It's just. I
want to say they had I think they had a player drafted or they had an undrafted free agent. I can't remember which one.
Colorado School of Mines in Golden, Colorado.
Colorado's had.
They are
Colorado
a D2
Mines
school.
They've had 6 guys drafted.
The Ore Diggers is their nickname.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The last player they had drafted was Mike Flater by the Redskins. He was a kicker in 1974.
Mm-hmm.
They had 5 other players drafted that play positions that I don't know what those acronyms mean. Because they were drafted in the fucking 40s.
Oh man, I need to see some merchandise here.
Oh, it's pretty sweet. Their merch is pretty sweet.
Some Ore Digger merch.
Oh yeah, if the Colorado School of Mines would send me a hoodie, I'd totally wear it.
And say, well, at least the front of their shirts say Mines, and we don't just cut that name in half because that could get us in trouble. Yeah, I might have to find me a little Ore Digger shirt here with a little pack mule on the front of it. Old kicking mule, kind of like 40 style. It's not bad.
So one of the things that I really want to do with NFLdraft.net, I want to send emails to the media relations guy for a bunch of these little tiny schools that have like one prospect.
Yeah.
Send me a shirt and let me interview your dude.
That's a good.
The guy that you have in the draft.
Good deal.
Yeah. Send me a shirt. I'll interview your guy. And we'll have him on the stream while we're at the draft. We figured out Zoom. I know how to make Zoom work now. I didn't know how to do that a year ago.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, they're not the only Ore Diggers out there. Apparently, Montana Tech also the Ore Diggers. Just in case you need to know, which none of you did. But that's the thing I had to know, so now you have to know.
Elliot Spencer asked a question. Who's to blame for the Rams' last drive yesterday?
Who's to blame for the last drive? I mean,
I want to say Stafford. Also, the fact that the Rams, it started snowing and they look like dogs that you let out to take a shit, and they did not know what to do with snow. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm just prancing around it. Like, why is there cold water on the ground? I don't like this.
Well, the footing became an issue, and we saw time and time again the timing was completely off.
Oh, it was brutal.
And so, I mean, I don't have anybody to blame. It was just because I don't think Matthew Stafford was terrible. That last throw wasn't great, but
no.
I mean, you're pressing at the end of the game, just trying to put the ball where only your guy can get it. because you've already turned it over. What, they turned it over twice in the fourth quarter?
Yes, they did.
Or in the second half?
Yes.
So, I mean, you've already had, fumbles. Matthew was trying to make sure that he wasn't the one that turned the ball over again. I mean, do you have anybody to blame for that last drive?
I low-key, I blame all of it.
I agree with Gambit fan. Jalen Carter. I blame Jalen Carter for that.
Yeah, he's a good one to blame because he had a shitload to do with it. If you're not double teaming him, you're doing it wrong. That's what Gambit fan, and I agree with you.
Yeah,
he is really good at the footballs.
Mm-hmm. GG Gambling says he blames McVay or the OC and Shula. He says he can't blame Stafford, but he looked like he gave up on that last drive. I didn't see it. I didn't see that. I don't feel like Stafford gave up on the last drive.
Oh, that reminds me. We have our. I got to pull up my email because Michael Meadows sent this to me. We have our 6 finalists for the playoff battle for the belt, second chance to beat the mullet competition.
Okay.
Right there. I got to find which one was which. Okay, he did not figure those. I will announce that tomorrow on the ESPN show.
Okay. Got some more calculating to do.
Yeah. He did the whole season instead of just the playoffs, which is totally fine.
Yep.
I just had to figure out who actually won in the playoffs. I know this much. I'm going to need a nap before the national title game tonight.
Yes, that is definitely on my list as well. All right, so then I guess the only game we haven't talked about is Chiefs and the Texans.
What's there to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City continues to win. Kansas City continues to get just wonderful calls for them down to the end of the game.
Well, I mean, and it's shocking. The shocking thing to me is how many Chiefs fans go, "Oh, you're just haters." No, we're just telling you the truth, and you don't seem to want to admit that.
Right. We're all watching with our eyeballs,
yeah.
And it seems every game the same things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Key drives in the game get extended by penalties, and we're just supposed to go, "Oh no, this is all Patrick Mahomes and company."
And look, I don't think the calls changed the outcome of the game. Kansas City beat Houston. Houston, in large part, beat themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. You getting a call does not have to be the reason that you won a game. But also the fact that you're not willing to admit, yeah, we get a lot of calls. Douchey. Very, very douchey.
Yeah.
And the thing that annoys me the most about that is I remember the Patriot years pretty well, and some of the most vocal critics of New England were Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have become them. Not all of you. Some of you are great. Colin's fantastic. Chiefs Nation UK, fantastic. He even said it in the comments. No comment. That's an acceptable answer. You know what's not an acceptable answer? Oh, you're just a hater. You're stupid. We don't get calls. No, you do. You do, like every good team has in the history of time. That's Yeah, and if you don't believe me that happens, go check our Facebook. Let me get a live tally on how many comments that post has. 1,448 as of right this second. Solid.
Yeah. Andreas Pinkney says when the team calling the game, the broadcast team calling the game, is complaining about the insane flags, there is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
do you know why?
They're the same as us.
Do you know why we bitch about this? It's not because we really give a shit. Because to me, look, I have one favorite team and 31 that are varying levels of I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Does Nick Sirianni get on my nerves? Yes, he does. And the more he wins, the less likely he is to get fired, and the more likely it is I'm going to have to interview his stupid ass again. Yeah, I don't want that. But I don't hate Philadelphia more than I hate anybody else. It is what it is. What I get tired of is we get inundated with people saying the NFL's rigged, and anytime you do that, I know my email box is about to fill up with people saying, I told you it was rigged.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do shit like that, do I agree with you it's rigged? No. Do I have a real good explanation that it's not? No. Nope. Because the more you do it, the harder it is to defend.
Yep.
To the point of, I don't. I just ignore it.
Stuart West says Mahomes is like Austin Reeves from the Lakers. He knows how to flop. And that coming from a lifelong Chiefs fan. Sure he does. You take advantage where you can.
For sure.
And when you give a guy that much rope, he's going to use all of it.
For sure. We have another super chat.
I'm going to come.
Oh, shit. Wrong button. Colin, I haven't disagreed about us getting calls. The only thing is you've counted the Chiefs out all year. That's the only thing I don't understand. For me, it's not counting them out. They're not better than these other teams. You watch Kansas City, you watch Buffalo. Buffalo's better. Then they played each other, and Buffalo beat the bejesus out of them. That's kind of hard for me to unsee.
Right.
I mean, am I really impressed you beat the Houston Texans? Nope.
Nope.
Now, am I counting you out? I think that's an aggressive way of saying it because I think I've been very careful to say Kansas City knows how to win in a way that nobody else does.
Yes.
I'm an analyst, and from an analyst perspective, I just look at which one of these teams pillar to post is better, and if everything's equal. It's the Bills. It would have been the Ravens. It would be the Eagles. It would have been the Lions. But all things aren't equal because you know how to win and some of them don't.
Yeah. I also don't feel like counting them out is an accurate statement. We're not counting them out. We're just saying that they're not that good.
They're not the best team in the league.
Or the 15-2 record is wonderful, but you're not that team.
No,
you're not historically great.
No,
you're not better than any of the teams that we've already seen win a Super Bowl for Kansas City. There's no doubt in a step back. You know how to win, and that's awesome. And you know how to get calls, and that's awesome as well for you. Not for the rest of us, though.
Stacy Turbeville, who's a Eagles fan, said if we get by Washington, there won't be enough calls to help them win. We will dog walk them. Jeremy's great line. I do like that line. By the way, can I ask you a question? I swoop in and do politics very rarely. You do it a lot. Mm-hmm. Does Fox News hire the women on their network by just finding the absolute hottest woman they could possibly find that can put 5 words together?
Yes.
Hey, do you speak English? Yes. Do you do it good or do you do it well? Well. You're hired.
How many sex scandals has that network had to put up with?
Good God, I understand why.
That's
Lord have mercy. This ain't like CNN. I mean, fuck.
Kind of baked into the pie, you know.
I mean, fuck, it'd be hard to have a sex scandal at CNN. Who the hell wants to fuck any of those people? Nobody's doing it by choice. I promise you that.
Agreed.
Wolf Blitzer. I don't think anybody's really.
I'm sure he's happily married.
I'm sure he is. Gambit fan said Joy Taylor is the most aptly named analyst of all time. That's solid.
Mm-hmm.
That's solid. Whoever, I think it was NFL Memes, posted a picture of Joy Taylor in a Ravens uniform, and it said, Mark Andrews can't fuck this game up that bad. Mark Andrews. And it was Joy Taylor in a Ravens uniform.
Oh, dear.
Solid.
Oh, dear.
Notorious B.I.G., you can't beat the Chiefs kicking field goals. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You complain when they put up 14 points on you and you blame the refs. I mean, here's the thing. Do the Chiefs get bailed out by officials? Yes. For sure. They get calls just like every other good team does. Hey, guess what? Buffalo Bills do too. The difference is you don't adamantly want the Bills to lose. That's the reason you notice it with Kansas City. Every good team gets calls. They always have. Philadelphia does it all the time.
Right.
Philadelphia gets by with more holds than any team I've ever seen, but it's because we look at that line and go, it's the best line in the NFL.
I did find this stat interesting yesterday as they were, talking about the recap of the Chiefs game, and of course everybody upset about the referees. Kansas City gets all the calls. Apparently, Kansas City far and away has the most touchdowns turned over by penalty this year.
Yep.
It goes the other way against them too.
Oh, for sure.
Just in case you think they always get the calls, they do not.
For sure. It's just for Kansas City, they always happen at the exact right time.
Yes.
And Jawan Taylor has never not started to play too early. Ever. Ever. It's almost like that. I swear to God, Jawan Taylor is like that friend we all have that's late to fucking everything. So you tell them that an event starts at 4 when it starts at 5.
Yes.
Because they're going to show up at 5. They tell him the snap count's on 3 when it's on 5. You're slow as shit. So get you a little head start.
All right. Any more thoughts on the games from the weekend?
I have a thought that I have a pot roast cooking right now that smells unbelievably good.
Yes, I can smell it from here.
Oh, it's good. I'm gonna strain the old juices and make a gravy out of. Oh yeah, it's gonna be intense.
Going to be good. We have, of course, the national championship game coming up tonight.
7:30.
We will be back with you for the live reactions to the championship game between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Hey, do we have a confirmation of the 7:30 is the kickoff time?
I believe that is the coverage time.
That's the coverage time for sure, but is that the kickoff time? Yeah, everything says kickoffs at 7:30. So. And that's good because that means we can all be safely in our beds by like 10:30. I mean, not that it matters for me, but Tank's got like shit to do. He's keeping our whole enterprise afloat right now, and by ours I mean the radio enterprise. I think he's the only person actually working. Are you the only person working in the building right now?
I was, yes, today.
Because it's just you and Ariel.
Yes.
Because Josh is out, I'm out, Mark's out, Eddie and Amanda are out.
Yes.
So it's literally just Tank.
Yes, it's been pretty lonely up there for the last week or so.
Hey, if I didn't have just an outrageous amount on my plate right now, I'd be right there and suffering with you. Oh, but I do.
Oh, but I do.
Oh, but I do.
So much going on. NFLDraft.net. If you have not subscribed yet, encourage you to do so.
Yeah, today was a freebie. The positional ranks will be. I'm still working out what's going to be freebie, what's going to be on. Because I really need input on what you guys want. But I'm going to lean on you guys for that. That's why I said, what do you get with NFLDraft.net? You tell me. Tank has seen my player board. I have a profile on every one of those guys. So I can sit here and just crank out videos of breaking down tape. I can do that for the next 95 days at a rate of about 10 a day. And I'm totally good to do that. I love to watch tape.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Inauguration Day, I'd be watching it right now. But I'm watching this incredibly attractive young girl who I can't quite figure out what she's doing. What is with the shiny ass lipstick? Makes your lips look like a butthole. It's like a butthole with teeth. There's nothing
Yikes.
good about that. But
Those definitely should not have teeth.
For sure. But it's like intrinsic. I'm just sitting here watching in a trance.
Yep.
I can't stop watching your lips move.
All right. Rob Johnson says, go Bucks. Ohio State tonight, Notre Dame. We'll be back with you for the kickoff and the live reaction of the national championship game. This is one of those head heart games. My head tells me Ohio State's winning. My heart really wants Notre Dame to win. But it ain't, I don't think it's happening.
I don't know. While we're here and just talking like old friends, let's see what the betting markets have done on this game, shall we?
Ooh, let's. 8.5 points is a lot. And if I were wagering on this game, I would be on Notre Dame to cover.
Okay, here's the betting splits. Notre Dame's taking just a little bit over 50% of the spread bets.
Okay.
That's at Circa. They're at Ohio State's at 52% on DraftKings. The under's taking sharp money at DraftKings and at Circa. So it looks like the spread is split about 50-50, but the under seems to be catching heavy money.
All right.
And
Under
I tend to
45 and a
agree.
half.
I tend to agree. I do what?
Under 45.5.
Yeah, that's where I would
the
go.
number.
Yeah, that's where I would go.
Yeah.
And Colin's got a good idea of doing a Q&A in the Discord and answer the questions on the stream. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, that should work.
And shout out to Colin for handling the Discord things because I don't know how to do any of that. And I'll have the link to the Discord up on the Patreon as soon as the show's over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I'm going to take a nap so I don't fall asleep on stream tonight because I slept about 2 hours last night. And I just sat here and kept pounding Fireball after we got off the stream.
Just celebrating.
I drank all the Bud Lights in the house. There's no more of those left.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you won't have alcohol poisoning from tonight. So.
I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right. He's made out of iron, ladies and gentlemen.
Built different. Hashtag built different.
Built different. That's right. Stuart West, I agree. Notre Dame quarterback, he may be a problem. Riley Leonard.
By the way, just something that a little birdie told me after I got off the Patreon stream this morning. There are people in the scouting community that think Will Howard could end up in the first round, and I laughed until I almost shit on myself.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's that is the dumbest thing I think anybody has ever told me.
Yes, there are people also in the scouting community that do meth, apparently.
Possibly. It makes a lot more sense than that's actually true.
Precisely.
All right, we're kicking off 7:30
Yes.
tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, the stream's already up. We will be right back here at 7:30.
All right, gentlemen, we will see you then.